Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh,
Can you
yes.
hear me now?
Yay. Okay. Hi, Neko. Hi, Suki. Hi, Vico. You said, finally, I'm on time for a stream. Yeah, apparently I started with no sound. So there's that. Oh, also, just give me one quick second. Okay. I'm going to be right back. Okay. Here I am. Y'all, I don't know why I do this to myself and just have myself in scenarios where I have to run around like a chicken with my head cut off, but apparently that's a thing that Mari likes to do. So, hi. What a pretty shirt. It's actually a dress, but thank you. I got this last year from Walmart. Yeah, last year from Walmart in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. um, You spooked by the open tab again. Hello, Story Jumper. Hello, NFS. Hello, Kit Ghoul. Crap, I don't remember who all I said hello to. So, hey, Suki. I know I said hi to you, Cookielicious. And Vico. Okay, I think that was everyone. I said hello to everyone. Whoa, you look so pretty today. Thank you. I try. I really do try. I re-dyed my hair just a little bit to get some of the roots, but I also went ahead and made like the back all pink rather than having it just like black. Anyway, it says, "Oh, pretty, thank you." You were so caught up with work that you forgot about the live stream. Oh, the color looks great on you. Thank you very much. Wait, this color or this color? Probably this color. Thank you. Hi, Megan. It's so good to see y'all. I woke up at like 10 something. I took a nap yesterday. Horrible nap, but necessary nap. But that also caused me to stay up until 4 in the morning. So yeah. Yeah, both. Thank you. You say you just finished the new QJJ chapters. I don't even remember what those chapters were, but yay. You said I drew you pink and green combo for a reason. Mm-hmm. You know what? That very first drawing that you sent me is still my ultimate fave. And my brain is like, maybe I can find something to do with it because, like, I don't know. I just love the first draft so freak. Like all the rest of them, the finished products are amazing, but that first draft, it just touches my heart so much. You said naps are necessary. Yeah, I needed it. I needed it really bad. Um, so just so y'all know, basically all this week at my job, I'm not doing my operations hours, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I work from like 2:45 to 6 p.m. And today I work from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. So we'll see how today's gonna go. I mean, I think we have less chapters than so I'm not going to stall as long as I usually do. I usually stall and chat with y'all for like 30 minutes. We're going to reduce it to 15 and then get started. Um, yeah, the kind of work I'm doing is like a moderation in their one-on-one sessions. So technically I could just like put up the wait screen and then go onto the session, let the person in and then hop out and come back if I need to. But yeah, I really should have probably scheduled this session for 11:30, but you know, bad decisions. So that's where we are today. We are with bad decisions. Um, Also, last night I tried something new and I failed. And I was just like, hey, God, why couldn't you bless me with like amazing eyebrows? My eyebrows are super thin, right? So yesterday, while I was, touching up my hair and everything, um, I was like, let me bleach my eyebrows and maybe I'll, dye them pink. And so I did. I bleached them. I could see that they were bleached. And I was like, well, I almost look like I don't have any eyebrows, but I still look okay. And then I put the pink dye on and then eventually washed it off. And my eyebrows are just too thin. I was like, I need thicker eyebrows to really like make it stand out. So then I put the green on top of the pink to neutral, like to cancel it out. And now I have blonde eyebrows, but I put, eyeliner. I don't even wear makeup, but I have a couple of things. So I put eyeliner on my eyebrows. And I guess I'll just have to do that until my eyebrows go back to normal from the. I was like, man, I wanted to be like those girls that be dyeing their eyebrows to match their hair. I'm so sad. It's all right. Naps are either the best thing ever or awful. Look, naps are usually the worst thing ever for me. Like, it's rare I get a midday nap that just feels so freaking good. They're usually so awful. Just like comfortability wise, actually getting to nap wise. And then, yes, then sometimes I wake up and I feel like I don't want to move anymore. So, but usually when I try to take a nap, I'm still awake while napping. Sucky. You're on spring break from college, so you don't have to work. Hey. Yeah. Thursday is the only day that I won't be working because, like I said, I'm working from March 9th all the way to, well, shoot, even the 28th because I go live with you all. And I do enjoy what I do here. But now, since I do get paid, I do consider it work, just work that I want to do. So, yeah, I work every day except this Thursday. But it kind of doesn't matter because my husband and I will be attending a funeral. So that's, so, yeah, meh, meh. Also, I don't have any grapes. I was supposed to reserve the grapes for today. But see, the way things just worked between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is I was craving grapes. So I ate grapes until they were gone. So I don't have any for today. I don't have anything for today. Actually, I don't have anything. Right. Yay for no work. You have spring break until next Tuesday. Hey, yo. You think wifey? Oh, yeah. Not even a cup. I don't have anything because since I woke up late and then I was just kind of lying around like I didn't have anything to do. And I forgot, oh my gosh, I have to cook food. And I was like, I can't even cook right now, like what I would normally cook. And like my husband, his schedule changed. So now he's home at times I'm not used to him being home. And there's like no cooked food. And I was like, so then I just like ran in the kitchen to cook something really quickly and told him, okay, when the timer goes off, you're going to have to take it out of the oven. So I didn't have time to prepare tea. I don't have any snacks that I can eat. I did not go to Starbucks. For those of you in Discord saw the little thing that they sent me or whatever. I did not go to Starbucks. I have nothing. So I don't know. I don't know what I am going to do. Not even a cup. There's no atiao. There's no twintian. There's no ramekin. There's nothing. Condolences for the funeral. It's okay. I'm going there more so for moral support. So I think we're traveling on Wednesday. Yeah. So I was just like, dang. And we got to add more things into my busy schedule this week. So yeah, I was like, I really won't be celebrating anything. Apparently I turned 31. People keep reminding me of that because I have forgotten myself. So yeah, I'll be working on my birthday and then traveling to go to a funeral the day after. So today is all for you. Hey. The cravings get you every day. They really do. This happens to me every single time. Like usually on Monday, I don't have grapes because I had grapes and I ate them when I should have been saving them. That's really what happens every time. No more grapes, no food. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I love how Neko is saying today is an off day for me because I know that's like off work, but I'll say today is an off day for me, as in I'm off. Everything is off. You forgot the live was starting early. Hi, Auxiliary. You're on lunch and left your headphones at work. We at least have Bing He. Yeah, but he provides no sustenance. He just gives you guys sound sometimes, because apparently when we started this live, he didn't. But that's because OBS literally decided to update, and yeah, I had to reconnect. Boopity boop. So, but yeah, today is still a very good day, though. I'm very excited. Your birthday is in a fun spot because you're May 6th and your stepdad is 9th. His daughter is the 5th. That's tragic. That's tragic. All those birthdays so close to each other. Yeah, I don't have anyone's birthday that is like right on mine. I mean, I'm just St. Patrick's Day, but a lot of people's birthdays are very close by. So like my brother's January, one of my brothers is January 2nd. Then my dad is February 2nd. Then my sister-in-law, I don't know, is like March 3rd. Brother-in-law, March 10th. Then there's my birthday, March 17th. Then there's my husband, who is April 4th. And then I have two sisters whose birthdays are on the same day, April 29th. And then we go over into May, and it's my nephew's birthday. And then we go into early June, and it's my godson's birthday. And then late June, it's his little sister's birthday, my niece. What money? Anyway, what dinero? Tomorrow is St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. She got me for her birthday. No, honestly, when my younger sister was born, I told my other younger sister, happy birthday. Like, here's my baby sister was born. This is your present. I was in high school, mind you. Wait, no, not high school. Not even close. What grade was I in? Who remembers? Oh, I love how the 3 and the 1 just flip for you, storyteller, from the 31st, the 13th. A lot of birthdays in October. October is a fun month. Yeah, people be getting jiggy with it in that month. I had 2 friends who had the same birthday as well in December, but now I only talk to one. So, you're the youngest. Both you and your brother's birthday are on the 29th. Yeah. Birthdays used to be like so important to me, but just because how life has lifed with certain things, it's no longer as important as it used to be. So that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But yeah, birthday used to be the only holidays we celebrated in my household. And yeah, there's a lot of tragedy around why I stopped celebrating my birthday for a short time period. And then eventually, after some years, decided, okay, fine, I'll celebrate it again. But now I just don't have that same zeal to celebrate it anymore. And it's kind of just like, I mean, it's whatever. So we're about to get started. But really quickly, I wanted to show y'all what I bought off Amazon because my sticky notes are running low for obvious reasons, at least certain sizes. So on Amazon, I got this little sticky note set. Okay. And so far, I've only used like one sticky note, and that was literally putting something on my laptop. But anyway, so inside, well, first off, I'm not 100% sure what this is. So whatever. It also comes with these two marker pen things, which I also don't care about, but whatever. So on the inside, this is what it's like. As you can see, I'm holding the green sticky notes because for some reason the stickiness wasn't stickying. Anyway, so they have these big notepads here. Lovely. And then they've got the rectangular ones, which I use a lot. All of these are see-through tiny sticky notes, so I'll use those for pictures. And then my all the note-taking options, different sizes. Very excited. I always am in need of sticky notes because I've been notating so much. And then it looks like there's a little ruler to measure things here. I don't know. I don't need that. But anyway, I hope this ends up being a good purchase. I hope the sticky notes actually stick well, because the last set that I bought, I had some issues and had to throw away several of them because they weren't even sticking, or like the sticky part was at the very end of it. I was like, what are we doing here? So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with y'all. Is that a note taker? Like, ooh, drool. It is so many. I think it was 720, 740, something like that. So anyway, I'm excited to use that because I'm running out of sticky notes. So anyway, just so y'all know, the same day that I finished Volume 5 of QJJ, of course, I'm not saying anything, I started Volume 6 because I had to. I'll be reading some more of it today and some more of it tomorrow. And then, no more reading for a week or so. But what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. So I guess it won't really feel like a break for y'all. I said I was taking a week break, but y'all won't feel like it. Because literally there are videos on Patreon scheduled out to the 23rd, which means for YouTube, y'all have videos scheduled out to the 25th of March. And I'll be back by then. So what break? For y'all, at least. You said that's note taking on a professional level. I have to. You're a little jelly. Don't be jelly. It was super cheap. Once I start using them, I'll let you guys know, like, if I actually like them, if they work well, and then I can give you the link for them. But it is officially 12:20, so we are going to get started. Let's get it started, ha. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started, ha. Let's get it started in here. Uh-huh. In here. Here we are. Chapter 69. I hope you all are ready for Sanjia Chengyu, Thrice Married to a Salted Fish, the last chapters. Was it like 4 chapters? 69? No. Yes. 69, 77, 5 chapters. Bruh. And then we have to wait. Same sound going through your head? Yeah. So, chapter 69, I read that first, I read the first 2 pages for y'all. So we know what that page is about. I mean, we know what the ending of chapter 69 was, right? 68 was. Do you want to get me dirty again? Oh, no. I think I sort of do. Those last chapters had you in a chokehold. So glad we can discuss this. You said, oh, yeah, I remember you pre-reading the last time. Mm-hmm. Because I had to. I had already read it, and that's why I was like, I need y'all to hear this. So, and yeah, I know you forgot. You said last time you forgot what happened. So we're going to recap for you. So yeah, we had Gufujo. He was twiddling his calligraphy brush while he was thinking. And Qingyu is like, traumatized from getting ink on him. So he's like, you want to get me dirty? And he was like, I think I do. These are the last chapters in the book. Yes, Megan. Yeah. I'm sorry. I forgot you were listening. So you're like, oh, I'm so sorry. Uh-huh. It was no, uh-huh. Yeah. So in chapter 69, you know what? A lot of times, every single chapter, the very first sentence is highlighted because they're so thorough. So this Gufujo really wanted to do it. All right. So basically, we have it here where the general, he wants to have sex with Lin Qingyu. And he used to think that this was something that really wasn't very important to him. But really, he just realized it's too much work. The man is so lazy. So he's just like, I don't want to do all that. But he started realizing that when it comes to this specific person, Qingyu, that, no, I do want to have sex. The energy that I have to spend would totally be worth it. Would totally be worth it. And so you said, you're trying to figure out when the next book comes out. Book 3 comes out June 16th. So could never be me. Pat's the Chrysanthemum Garden, right? Because we do have the link for it in Discord for those who want to continue reading anyway instead of waiting. And so he was like, no, not only would he want to have sex with Lin Qingyu, this man turned into a completely different beast. Okay, a side of him we'd never even seen before, which makes sense because in Lu Wancheng's body, like, why would he even think so deeply about those things? But now he has full health and vitality as a great general. And so he's like, not only does he want to have sex with him, but he just wants to say lots of vulgar things to him. He wants to bite him up. He wants to just like cover him in his sand and, whisper things in his ear and sully him, dirty him up all the way. Anyway. So then we have it where Lin Qingyu himself usually felt no reaction, to anything even close to sex, or even something as simple as seeing the male or female body, because he's a physician, right? He would usually have no such reactions. However, it is only the general who makes him feel nervous when he touched him. Okay. And it was quite interesting because he would, he already said, like, I feel like I'm going to break out into boils. Right. And so temporarily, hold on. He do all the work for you. Hear me? Like, the man is so salted fishy, but anytime it comes to anything concerning Qingyu, he becomes the most diligent person in the entire world. Like, it's not even funny. And so when we move forward, we have that the majesty, the emperor. I was trying to decide between the emperor and his majesty. So the emperor has been having unbearable headaches, and he even canceled like morning court and everything, which of course Gufujo is very, very happy about. And so a little while later, though, Qingyu is actually summoned to the palace because the emperor couldn't bear the pain. And so eventually the general presented an analysis detailing the conditions for the battlefield and all of that stuff. Qingyu got access back into the Imperial Academy of Medicine to read the library texts, even without being reinstated. Okay, so making him do the work, but not giving him the position back. Okay, so then we have the emperor is given some crystal clear snow lotus blossom from the Northern Kingdom that was clearly from the crown prince, because he clearly sent guards to look for Shen Huaishi. And the fourth prince, Xiao Jie, He's with the general and the steward, Xi Zhong. Xi. And the emperor showed him his spear, right? Let him ride his horse. And during this whole interaction, we have Lin Qingyu and Xi Zhong basically testing each other. So that's the summary of the chapter. Exercise to keep those muscles in shape. Tempted to keep going. Totally understand. The only reason I won't keep going is because I have to read these. I have to record these. So to me, it's like I have distractions enough to give me more time to not to not feel as tempted, at least for the next 2 months or so. I think I'm releasing volume 1 April 26th. I'm just trying to give myself a large enough window to like release that. So yes. So let me go through these pages because I did not prepare properly again and see if there was anything that I needed to point out in this chapter. I don't think so. Although I did think it was funny that General Gu, he was like, you know, how come I've never seen you do it? And I was like, sir, why do you need to see him do it? That's not something people just like, I don't know, casually do in front of someone else. Like, oh, I just got to masturbate really quickly. So like, hold on. Like, is that something you were expecting, you know, for him to see? Okay. I mean, for him to do in front of you, it was just like, okay, sure. Okay. So anyway, of course, you know, Qingyu, he went back and the methods he used and everything, he reformulated the emperor's medicine. And of course, the symptoms that he was having, they greatly reduced his pain and everything. Here is one of the things that I have been dying to talk about. This is why I said when it comes to the Crown Prince, and that moment where Shan Huaishir was like, you're drunk. You know, you wouldn't do this if you were sober. And I was like, not because he was without desire to take Qingyu by force. On page 299, it says, had Lin Qingyu been the wife of a mere official, the emperor would have simply forcibly taken him. But he wasn't just anyone's wife. He was Gu Fuzhou's. The emperor is greasy. The son of the emperor, who's closest to him, is also greasy. Like father, like son. So that's why, like when I read that, I just got the ick so bad. I was like, this is the world we live in? What, just because you're the emperor that you think you can just take someone by force? And the only reason you're not taking him by force is because he's Gu Fuzhou's? I wish we could use my Discord emojis here in the chat, in the YouTube chat, to put up the well, like to the well. Okay. Y'all calling him McGreasy. I love how open they are too. Yes. He doesn't need to see it. He want to see it. More like, why have I never caught you doing it? He's still like doing. Oh my gosh. That would not be my fault. That would not be my fault, NFS. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and the apple is rotten too. Oh my gosh, so rotten. Have we thrown him into the well? I feel like we've thrown the emperor into the well before. Actually, no. I don't think we ever threw the emperor into the well. We've just been calling him greasy. The crown prince has been thrown into the well. But now we have official, today marks the day for sure, I believe, no day before, that we are throwing the emperor into the well. Well. Family reunion. the well and the bucket. So yeah, this is what that particular part is what I had been waiting to say something on, just to like revert those two things to each other, because I was just like, oh my gosh, can this guy get like any more disgusting? So then also we have another scene that I thought was so freaking amazing, because, you know, Gufujo, he could stay home, you know, whatever. And he had a monthly rest day, right? But Qingyu still had to go to the palace. And so on the day that Qingyu had to go to the palace, guess who woke up early? Gufujo, because he wanted to see him off just as Qingyu had done for him. But not only did he see him off, he saw him off like all the way, not just stopping at the gate of their residence. And I was just like, oh, that's so sweet. That's how you know when someone really truly cares about you, because even like they're willing to put themselves in more uncomfortable situations, or more willing to do things they wouldn't normally do, you know, and they want to do it for you. And I was just like, so anyway, that's all I had to say about that. So I think that was it for this chapter. No. So talking about this Xiao Jie and his steward Xi Rong, who is not Qi Rong, but Xi Rong. This guy is apparently like the smartest guy in the kingdom, actually. And him and Lin Tingyu are just testing each other, filling each other out to see like who, like how formidable really is Tingyu, is Xi Rong's perspective, but also Tingyu is trying to feel him out to see what he wants to do in regards to Xiao, of him just literally just going off to live as an idle prince, or if maybe there'd be something in there, you know, possibly wanting to elevate him to something else. So, let me see, is there anything else? I really wanted to say really quick on page 305. I don't know why, but this line stood out to me, and I was just like, I have to talk about it. This horse was as black as ink, with slender, sculpted limbs and a thick mane. I was like, that's a beautiful horse right there. And the horse's name is Little White. So anyway, that's literally all I had to say about that. And I thought it was funny that at the end of this chapter, you know, Qingyu, he was trying to see also if Xi Rong had any perverted feelings toward the crown prince. And I mean, not the crown prince, but the fourth prince. And he was like, I can't really see them. He's hiding them very well. Ooh, Megan, I like that. Xiao Bei. Bai. Xiao Bai. Xiao being little, Bai being white. Little White, Xiao Bai. Are we sure it's horse? I think so. So then we move on to chapter, y'all. Then I have to go get some water, to chapter 70. And in this chapter, we have Qingyu talked to, did I really just say him? Qingyu talked to him about, but picking up from the previous chapter, he talked to Xi Rong about how he would have the chance to become the Directorate of Ceremonial's head eunuch, basically, or he could, like I say, leave with the fourth prince and become an impotent steward. I think Qingyu has something for impotentism. Is that how I can say the impotentism? We bring Atyong. Oh, you missed it. My little introduction. I don't have anything. I have nothing because I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off before the session. So me don't have anything. You said that level of description makes you unsure if it's a horse. Horse, no crest. It's a horse, y'all. It's a horse. After I finish chapter 70, I'll go get me some water. It sounds much harsher in the fan translation. What does it say? What is it in the fan translation? I want to know. So while I wait for you to put that, I'm going to keep going on. So, of course, Xizhong, he's being very polite, very demure. He won't even drink tea with Lin Tingyu. And Tingyu is just like, oh, I mean, you could be the director of ceremonials head eunuch, or you can go be idle with the prince and just be his steward. And he's really trying to gauge the man's ambitions. So Tingyu is basically like, it would be good if someone could remind His Majesty to give the fourth prince a title. And then he initially believes that the steward is secretly in love with the prince after their whole little thing. But he finds out, no, they're related. They're related. So not even close. Okay. Not even close to what you were thinking, Tingyu. Okay. No secret relationship as such or desire. They're half brothers, to be specifically. So definitely not that. Okay. So what happened was their mother had hidden her pregnancy, and then she sent him off with her family until he was 9 years old, and then had him brought back to become a eunuch. So then after that little bit, we have that it is Wan Cheng's death anniversary coming soon. And so General Gu doesn't even remember, though. And, Qingyu is just kind of like, I guess it makes sense. He wouldn't remember. Like, he was so sick then. I mean, dude couldn't even see. So it makes sense that he wouldn't remember. But Qingyu is, he's solemn. Hualu, she's sad, and all of that stuff. And the day before the anniversary, the snow comes down hard and fast, and it covers everything. And Tingyu is not in a good mood. He does not like the snow because it gives him that memory, and he grieves the man that's in front of him, but also not in front of him because he lost him, which is, man, that's so difficult. That's so difficult. So, he's, like I said, the general, he's like catching on, like, oh, there's something wrong. And then Qingyu deflects that. And he ends up jerking awake in the middle of the night, though. And when he doesn't see the general there, he panics. Okay. And then the general, he returns to comfort him. And this is like his first time seeing him so vulnerable. And then Qingyu actually admits he's afraid. Yeah. So that's chapter 70. Let me see if I had anything I wanted to point out specifically. Also, wait, no, the picture is coming up, so we didn't miss it. So I also love that Gufujo is like calling him his wife in front of everybody. Because he was like, thank you, my wife. When Qingyu handed him a cup of tea. Okay. Yep. I said all of this, blah, blah, blah. So in the original story of Huai's Revenge of the Monarch, yes, Xizhong actually protected Xiaojie, and they did go onto the land that was given, and they just lived a regular life. That's pretty much it. So then it was funny because Gufujo and Qingyu were having conversation, and he was like, well, if I don't like this person on the throne, then I'll just kill that person. If I don't like this person, well, we'll just kill that person. If I don't like this person, we'll just replace that person. And Gufujo was like, you might as well just sit on the throne yourself then. And I was like, you know what? You kind of make a good point because, he's just an ordinary man. This ordinary physician is just like, these guys are making my life difficult. So let's just kill them, get rid of them, have someone else replace them. And if I don't like them, if they're being disobedient, then I'll just poison the emperor and the crown prince because, like, they're making my life hard. So we got to figure something out so that I can live a peaceful life. It's just like, oh, little PTSD makes me hate the title. Yeah. I mean, how could you not have separation issues? Exactly. Murder spree. And I'm here for it. But then, of course, he's like, if I were emperor, then things would be boring, because I'd have the authority to do that. Like, I'm going to be conniving and sneaky and plan things and do things that I can't do, not do things that I can do. So, like, this is so boring. So, anyway, let's see, because I'm going to have to show you all this thingy. But yeah, he wants to build a snowman. And Tingyu's like, I don't want to build a snowman. I am going to resist the urge to sing it. Yep. Resisting the urge to sing it. So anyway, but his trauma was so bad when he woke up from his sleep that like he couldn't even control his limbs. Like I just feel so bad for him. But yeah, he was like, where did you go? And he's like, why are your eyes red? Are you mad that I went to eat alone and you cried? And he was like, I wanted to see whether you were still here. And he was like, I don't think of it often, but I'm a bit afraid. And here's the image for that. My poor baby. Right, he wants to become the conniving princess dowager. Like, excuse me. But then here on the last page, we have Gufu Joe telling him that he will always be here. And then Tingyu is just like, really? And he was like, really? I swear. Do I need to write a pledge? I was like, don't say you'll always be here. This ain't a spoiler. It's called Thrice Married to a Salted Fish. We're smart cookies. He's married you twice. Don't say you'll always be here. Just don't say you'll always be here. Okay, now that I finished that chapter, let me go grab some water. So I will be right back. Well, I have to change it. It says beloved Luyu will keep you while I'm away, but now it has to be Guyu. I mean, so I'll be right back. Hiya. You did exceptional. 我很骄傲你. I'm very proud of you. Okay? Very nice. 非常好. I'm back. And 阿乔来了. But also, fortunately, my husband, when he went to church yesterday, I guess they had leftover donuts and they're all blueberries. So I've got a donut. We're doing something. Thanks to the hubby for bringing them home because now I have something. This makes me sad for, yes, and we're discussing that today. We gonna talk about it. Foreshadowing is evil in this series. Yes, happy for the win. So, oh, right. I got the water. I didn't drink some. Oh, because I put it. Okay. Here we are. So chapter 71. donut. Chapter 71. I have very short notes on this. The general actually does write his pledge. And it calms Qingyu's heart, even though he knows like it basically means nothing. Like that note doesn't guarantee anything at all. But even though he has that rationality, his heart is still like, okay, we're calm. We're calm now. Everything's fine. Everything's good. The drool. Oh, here you go. For everyone that wants a bite, just go ahead and take one. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed it. That was nice. So, so anyway, that calms him down. And then he lays down, they lie down and rest with each other for the rest of the night. Nom nom chomp. So then he tells Qingyu about cell phones. Again, like I said, I love just how casually they speak about this other world to Qingyu, but future time. I love how casually they talk about it, you know, and it's his bedtime story about his hometown. And he tells him about the cell phones, what they're for and everything. And then he's like, you know, if you go there one day and get separated from me, you can find me using a mobile phone. You just have to memorize a string of numbers, which that's going to be easy for him. So I was like, great. So with that line, we know that they're going to have a little transmigration into the future. Now, I wanted to present Megan's theory that she put in the chat yesterday or the day before. And I was like, So we all know that a lot of times in transmigration stories, the main couple will travel to the future. I mean, there are series it didn't happen in, like technically speaking, it did not happen in SVSSS. And yes, before y'all say anything about the extra chapters, they don't count. In the books that I purchased, it's not there. So like, the SVSSS extras are what they are. The revised versions of TGCF are what they are. I don't count them as canon because they are not in the books that I've purchased. Unless I'm going to be reimbursed, it's going to be rewritten into the story and then it's mine. So, but yeah, I know that it happens in several transmigration stories. I won't say what they are to I guess not spoil for people. But they go from ancient China to modern China just for a little bit. But Megan had said, what if it was the possibility that after, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm remembering incorrectly, Megan, but basically, what if after the third time that Jiang Dazhuang dies, you said Qingyu dies as well, but he goes to modern times and they find each other and get married then? In modern times and stay in the modern world rather than being in ancient China. And that was quite an interesting theory. I was like, I think I'd be here for that. I think that'd be kind of cool. Then he'd be in a completely different world. So, well, not a completely different world, but a completely different world. So you said that note is a shield, but now, but a knife later. A sword later, multiple, an arrow later, multiple arrows later. Not having a system to limit him is great for Jiang Boy. That is actually one of the things that I've liked about this story so far is that a lot of times, people have a system, but in this story, no system. There is no system telling him what he has to do, telling him he's going to win points or lose points. It's just, it doesn't feel like he transmigrated into a book. It really does feel like because he saved someone before death, going with the belief system that he was just given an opportunity to manifest in another world. And I really, really like that aspect. Hey, Beanza! I love all that. I am saying nothing. Shh, say nothing. Yes. Okay, I was right about what Megan said. So that's Megan's little theory, and I thought that was really, really cool. He said 4 marriages. You would just say hi. And okay. You just say that you love the end of the story. These are not the arrows. I'm sorry, y'all. So anyway, that's basically that chapter, but I'm just looking through the pages really quick to make sure there wasn't anything else that I wanted to say. But I love that they just like laid beside each other and had that moment together to really calm him down and everything. And of course, you know, Lin Qingyu, he actually takes Huan Tong and Hua Lu to the Marquess of Nan'an's estate, and Lady Pan gave birth to a healthy baby. Okay. They pay their respects to the deceased young master. Lady Pan's, like I said, baby is in great health, and eventually the Marquess returns. And like she was trying to get him to go, but he was like, I actually haven't spoken to him in a while. I think I need to stay. So yeah, he reveals finally, all the way from the first novel, that Lady Liang, yes, Lady Liang was in the salt trade business illegally. Okay. And he uses this as leverage to get the Marquess to ask the emperor to give the fourth prince the title of princedom. And the empress, you know, she always felt like Lin Qingyu had betrayed Wancheng by getting married again so soon. And so she wanted nothing to do with him. So he couldn't like just go to her and say anything, you know, as a favor or anything like that. So what he does at the end of this chapter is he decides to go and visit her son to see if he can solve his disability. Now, I do want to say that there was a theory, if you guys don't remember me telling you all auxiliaries theory, and that was about when Jiang Dazhuang died again, that he would come back as the fourth prince, the stupid prince, Xiao Jie, the one he's asking for princedom for. I have a personal theory that I will get to once we get done discussing this. So, you swear you did not read the fan translation? You just wanted Lady Pan to have a kiddo. And she's got her kiddo. Blackmailing your ex-father-in-law. And you know what? I'm here for it. Because at the end of the day, the Marquess was also, like, I had to remind myself that the Marquess was also responsible for Qingyu being forced to marry Wancheng in the first place. Because both him and Lady Liang were desperate. She was desperate to save Wancheng. And they had reached out to the imperial preceptor, and that set everything in motion. So I was like, oh yeah, this is his payback. This is his payback, and I'm here for it. He was like, I have absolutely no regard for you. So it would be awful if, you know, the emperor found out about this. So maybe just go ahead and, you know, mention the fourth prince. So, yeah, because salt trade means certain death. That would be for his whole family. He's like, dang, that sucks. I also love how the Marquess called Lady Liang that bitch. I was like, he's so done with that woman. Oh my gosh. That was hilarious. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it on that chapter. Yeah, there wasn't anything else for me to say. So moving on to chapter 72, which let me drink. In chapter 72, we have Xiao Li. That's the name. Very easy. He's the emperor's youngest son and the only legitimate one. And he's 15 years old. We do cutie pie. That's what I'm calling him. I don't know if he's a cutie pie, but that's what I'm calling him. Because I don't remember. Yeah, that picture wasn't of him. So I'm calling Xiao Li, the youngest one, 15 years old, a little cutie pie. He's automatically a cutie pie, right? I mean, we've already established that, like, the crown prince was good looking, which that could come from, his mother. I'm going to assume the emperor is probably a standard good looking or something like that. So I'm going to say that Xiao Li is also good looking. So the empress only gets to see her son twice a year. Because the emperor wants to pretend that he does not exist. Right, little baby, he's a baby, he's so cute. The emperor wants to pretend that he doesn't exist since he's mentally disabled. Just like he's not there, And so he's like, he's not there here, so I'm not there physically. Like I don't want him here, period. And Qingyu wants to get the empress on his side. So he's like, I need to figure out the diagnosis, see if I could possibly heal him. And so the imperial preceptor was the last person, after he goes through the records, the last person to check on the prince's ailment. And he stated that he had an affliction of lost soul and couldn't be cured. And it was said that if an infant was exposed to something too shocking or traumatic or whatever, that they would lose their mind or their soul. And so he goes to see for himself with the help of his father, getting him there. And he sees that all the servants there are not even taking care of the prince. Like the dude's literally eating snow and they're just not caring. Even when he gets there, the guy's just like, if you need some medicine, we out of medicine. So uncaring about this whole thing. And so they're completely out of medicine at the apothecary. And Qingyu believes that the prince is vaguely familiar. So then we have the servants don't mind clearly mistreating the sixth prince because he can't speak up and say that anyone is mistreating him. I'm telling you, you give people the opportunity to be evil, they'd just be so evil. Like, I'm just like, oh, my gosh, can we not? But anyway, so after 2 days, Lin Qingyu finally returns back home because it was a long journey and he went without General Gu, of course. And he tells the general about all of this stuff, right? And he ends up being annoyed, though, because he clearly missed Qingyu, but it seems like Qingyu didn't miss him. And so he's super annoyed. But that might not be true. Qingyu probably missed you. So now let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things specifically in this chapter. Poor Mama Empress, right? Can we throw McGreaser into the well again? Yeah, just pull him out and throw him in again. And however you threw him in the first time, remember, always change it the second time. So if there was water in the well the first time, remove the water from the well. Okay. That way you get a different experience. So fuck that. Where's my flamethrower? Forget I just said what him roasted. It doesn't help that the emperor basically sentenced him to death by neglect. That's literally it. Yes. Anyone getting flashbacks to Prince Jing for pet fish? Not flashbacks. You think the well needs levels? Hey. Also, I have been making the shirts and hoodies, and I think I even made a mug on Printify. I haven't published anything. But I'm just letting y'all know that I have been working on that. Shirts and stuff. So, moving forward, was there anything specifically I wanted to talk about? Other than my note, I know specifically I have right here. But yeah, affliction of lost soul that cannot be cured. One thing I wanted to mention when it's talking about infants who have unstable souls because they were exposed to too much shock, they may lose, their souls, their minds. I wanted to say that I've actually heard of something like this before. It was on a TV show, but I can't remember if it was like one of those crime things or not, where a child had saw something very traumatic, like when they were still a baby, and then they grew up to be like a serial killer, and they were able to trace certain things back and find out that the child had saw this thing. And so, I do firmly believe that, what what you see and what you experience, even at young ages where you cannot understand, they can definitely impact your psyche and impact you spiritually. And, you can turn out a certain way. So, I mean, of course, as you get older, you have more conscious decisions that you can make and everything. However, I do still believe that there is just like a level of, not to take away responsibility, but I do believe there's a level of, lack of freedom or lack of choice. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but yes, a lack of choice when it comes to how you're wired with certain things because of your experiences. And the only way to get out of those things would be to have, therapy and things like that. But even in those scenarios, I do still think that there are certain things that will just be stuck with you for life. And it's just a matter of if you let it rule you or not. Especially when things have been ingrained in your mind for a very, 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 very long time. Maybe Dante can make it. Don't know if it's science, but the whole "we thought you wouldn't remember" drives me up the walls. You think you heard of something like that? Yeah. Yes. My husband and I were talking about that Sunday night while we were going out for a ride and then went out to dinner, how there are literally certain things that can be like passed down to you via like even DNA, like not necessarily just genes, like, oh, blue eyes or black hair or something, but experiences can be passed down. Because we were talking about something like an issue that my birth mother has, and it's something that I struggle with. And even my sister also has this issue as well. And it's just like, no we don't have any science or anything, but just talking about it. And like, we think it's possible that this is something that, was passed down. Because even people talk about this when it comes to like, our ancestors and everything, and like things that they went through, and those things become molded into us as like a people, but man, like but just that's even before birth. But like, I know specifically for me, because some of the things that we were talking about, like one of the things that I struggle with, and I have always struggled with, and I'm 31 years old and I've had years of therapy now and still struggle with, is always feelings of worth and being good enough, and always having to be like reassured that, hey, yes, you are good enough, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's something that I've had to deal with since I was a little kid, because I always felt like I could never measure up to my mother. And so it's like one of those things where, because of the psychological trauma that has caused me, I feel like it's just part of my DNA now. Like, it won't go away. No amount of therapy has helped that area. Now, what I can say is that I have built a lot of self-worth, and I know certain things, like, okay, I'm good in this, or I'm great in that, like I'm okay. But like the constant reassurance, I'm wondering if that's like something that will ever go away. And now it's just kind of like embedded in there. I mean, because it's like, how do you get rid of 28 years of something like that? And so it's like, people really do need to be careful with how they treat their kids, what they allow their kids to be exposed to, because it can really like mess them up, and then of course, like I said, with certain things, you have the power to overcome them or maybe not let them control you. And then some things, they may not control you, but it's still always going to be like a thorn in your side, that you have to constantly combat for the rest of your life. And so also getting back to the book, I'm kind of just wondering, like, what in the world would he have seen? Xiao Li, what did he see, or what did he experience so young that has put him in this state where he's just like listless, generational trauma. It's something like that. You were exposed to it, but really can't remember. Subconsciously, you are triggered. Yeah. He said, fun fact, all of us have actually been created in our grandmas. I'm going to assume you mean grandmas. Grandmas? Because our mothers were. So there is this line of thought about how grandmas and grandkids are connected. Yeah, definitely connected. Actually, speaking of my grandma, I just talked to her the other day. Anyway, you can know and understand, but emotionally it's still there. Exactly. Like, even though it's kind of like actually what happened for Qingyu in the previous chapter, like logically speaking, he knew that that little pledge would not help him, but he still needed it. So that's just like the reverse situation. Something's helping, but it's the same way with things that hurt. Even if logically, like, hey, that's not it, or that's not right, or something. It's like, I have not read this book yet. I've been meaning to, but there's a book called, it's based on trauma and everything. The Body Keeps the Score. And I really need to read that. Hold on. The Body Keeps the Score. I might buy that. But it's by Bessel van der Kolk. And I need to read it because it's talking about the brain, the mind, and body in the healing of trauma. I need to get on that. I could spend my money on that. Maybe it's at Books A Million. So, yeah. So on page. Also, when his father helped him get into the Six Princes side palace, because no one's supposed to go there, I love his father's trust of him so much. Like, he don't question anything. Or even if he asks a question, he's not questioning. Like, when Qingyu was wanting to know about the incense and stuff, he was like, what do you need it for? He's like, don't worry about it. And he's like, okay, whatever. I'll send Huji to help you. And then here, he helped him get in there. It says he didn't question his son. He just quickly arranged things for him. Again, going back to my theory of Qingyu, your dad is probably a little bit more sinister than you think as well. Oh, you've heard of it? Yeah. It was mentioned to me that I should read it like a couple years ago when I was really going through a lot of my trauma, but instead I had read Viola Davis's book and Jeanette McCurdy's I'm Glad My Mom Died, which was really amazing. And that book helped me like so much. And so in my memoir, I think one of the voices I wrote was like, I'm glad my mom died. I think that's what I called it. Or I think I said, I'm glad my mom dumped me or something like that. And I talked about reading Jeanette McCurdy's book and blah, blah, snore. But anyway, really good book if you want to read it. Also, she did the audio book herself, which I really appreciate. So it's really, really good. So then, as we go forward, I have, here we are, page 335. It says, Xiao Li is extremely beautiful. He's quite tall and thin. For some reason, Lin Qingyu thought that Xiao Li looked vaguely familiar. Here is my theory. Theory abound, my note says. The reason the prince is a lost soul is because that soul must be Jiang Dazhuang. That's my theory. He's just been bouncing around in these bodies. He's been in the wrong body for a while. I was like, Jiang Dazhuang, please return home. And, because after years pass, he won't be 15 anymore. He'll be an adult. He'll just be younger than Qingyu. But I was just like, why does he seem vaguely familiar? Because he also doesn't remember what Jiang Dazhuang looks like, but it was someone who took his breath away. And it said, that when their gazes met, Lin Qingyu was slightly shocked. Not only that, bye, Suki, you're leaving? Bye. Good luck for what? You being kidnapped by your sister. Oh, good luck. Good luck. Yes. Juni Hao Yun. So yeah, he was shocked when he saw him. And hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, he looked dazedly up and down. Then slowly he appeared at Lin Qingyu. When their gazes met, Lin Qingyu was slightly shocked. And I was like, did he take your breath away? It didn't say that. But, it was just like, he was tall and thin. His eyes were delicate and handsome. His facial features were lovelier than anyone's. But his gaze was blank and dead. And that certainly canceled out his beauty. So, yeah, that's my theory. I was like, Thrice married. So it's eventually is some time going to go by and, Jiang Dazhuang is going to be in that prince. He's going to recover. And is he going to be able to take the throne or something? Or maybe not necessarily that. But that's my theory. Many theories. Gasp. The theory. And that body looks like the one he saw in his dream. Yes, cackles. Bye, don't die. Theory is theorying. Yes. So I think that was all that I had to say about yeah. Oh no, hold on. Here we have, Qingyu is just like he's going to ask to see the Empress again tomorrow, and this time he doesn't believe that she'll turn him away. And then so this is when they like return to each other, and Gu Fuzhou is mad because he's like, you don't miss me, like what's going on? And then
sorry to interrupt.
It's fine.
There's something else I'm supposed to do to this chicken.
No, it's done.
So just leave it out or put it away.
Well, if you're not gonna eat it, then you can put it away. Yeah.
With the juice or without the juice?
Without the juice, yeah. I'm gonna put that in a mason jar.
Oh, so keep the juice.
Yeah, don't pour it out.
All right.
Gracias. He'll get poisoned if he pisses off the emperor. What if he becomes the emperor? Right? That's what I said. What if he goes into Shaoli and then becomes the emperor himself? So maybe all three theories could be right. The door's already closed. So, thank you guys for saying hi to him. So, Qingyu asks him, Gu Fuzhou, what he looked like before. And Gu Fuzhou is like, are you serious? Didn't you see me in that dream? And he was like, I forgot. And he was like, why did you forget my appearance? And he was like, how can you compare real life to dreams? And I feel like he asked this question because of seeing Shaoli. Okay, it's too many. Everybody saying hello. Everybody's rating my comments with hellos and highs, Mr. Mari Chan. So I just figured I would not ignore it and let you know they said hi.
Hi, good morning or evening. Didn't know where they are.
He said, oh, okay, well, hi and good morning or good evening, depending on where they are. So there you have it. So I felt like he was asking Gu Fuzhou about his appearance because there's some connection there between that and the Sixth Prince. We'll see. But anyway, Gu Fuzhou was like, I'm so annoyed. And he was like, it seems like you didn't even miss me in these past 2 days. And Qingyu says, maybe you're wrong. And Gu Fuzhou's like, huh? And he's like, I'm hungry. Let's eat. So then when we move to the final chapter. When Qingyu enters the palace to take the emperor's pulse, both the empress and noble consort Chun are there. And noble consort wants to borrow Qingyu to treat the crown prince because the prince really just isn't recovering. He's not going well. And you know what? Let's keep that trajectory. Like, I know you love your son, lady, but let's keep him not doing well. So anyway, the emperor is like, no, he's just inflicted with internal demons. That's his problem. He said, oh, he is a tease. I'm so curious where they broke up the volumes. Yeah, I'll tell you here in just a second. So, but he's like, he's just inflicted with internal demons, but he still permits it to happen or whatever. So then a list is written of those who are invited to the New Year's Eve feast, and the Empress put her son in one of those spots. And what does noble consort Chun do? She casually mentions it and it's like, guess who's on the list, darling emperor? Which of course enrages him because he doesn't want to acknowledge his son. So eventually he sends both his wife and the consort out. And he inquires, if the general is treating Lin Qingyu well. Okay. And we all know why he's asking that. So he then goes to see, he being Qingyu, goes to see, he goes to see the Empress and tell her that her son is not living a good life and he is being neglected by everyone there. And of course she's like, oh my gosh, we need to replace them and everything. And he was like, and then what? They're literally going to do the exact same thing. They're just, who's going to monitor them daily to make sure they're treating the crown prince right? And so he was like, the best way to make sure he's taken care of is to bring him back home and persuade the crown prince to be the one to bring him here. And she was like, dude, don't play with me. Did you really come in here for this? Because why would the crown prince do this, basically? And then he reveals that this was actually, Wan Cheng was worried about this whole thing. And he was like, he wanted Lin Qingyu to take care of them. And he tells her that. And so she, of course, holds resentment for him getting married too soon after Wan Cheng's death. But hearing this, she's like, okay, what do I need to do? So then we move forward. And the Marquess did indeed mention the princedom for the sixth prince. And he was like, it could be warding off as like a motivator for the crown prince to get his act together, and so he was trying to word it so it didn't seem like he was trying to do anything nefarious or gain favor in any kind of way with that prince, anything. So he's like, oh, it'd be great to get the crown prince to get his shit together, because right now he's just whatever. So the emperor's like, fine, I'll think about it. But then during the New Year's feast, when he sees the crown prince looking so defeated, mind you, again, Xiao Li, not there. But when he sees the crown prince looking so defeated, it's in that moment where he makes up his mind to give Xiao Jie, the fourth prince, the title of Prince of Ning. So then going back to the general's place, they have a much lighter celebration. Qingyu and General Gu. It's very small, very intimate. And feeling accomplished, Qingyu drinks a little bit more wine than he should. And he's carried to bed. Princess style or bridal style, however you want to call it. And the general's hard. The general is and he asks if Lin Qingyu still only likes girls. And Lin Qingyu says, no, I think he says you still only like girls. And Qingyu's just like, you might be wrong. And that was the same thing he said at the end of chapter 72 about not missing him. Maybe you're wrong. And here in his drunken state, maybe you're wrong. So really quickly, let me show you this picture because it's too cute. Let me zoom in. We were done so dirty. Weren't we though? This is where we end? Maybe you're wrong? Bruh. Come on. So, another workshop has been postponed. Oh, let me stop. I'm not at work. Oh my gosh. I hate that I still receive notifications even when I'm not at work because then it tempts me to look and still see what's going on anyway. So, still into girls? Maybe. He's like, oh, that's adorable, cuties. Oh my God, no. This is really where they ended. Look, here's... That's where they ended. So mean. Which is why I read chapter 74 after I finished this. I haven't read any more, but I was like, gosh, I don't advise y'all to do the same thing if you want to be good, though. So now let me see if there was anything of note that I wanted to point out, which I do need to, at the very least, mark these maybe you're wrong spots. That is how it ends. Y'all, that is how it ends. Because clearly Seven Seas was just like, let's torment them. So, okay, here we go. Alrighty. Ba-dee-dee-doo. Making sure there wasn't anything specific that I wanted to point out. Oh yeah, I thought it was funny that after the emperor asked Qingyu how the general was treating him, he was like, "Oh yeah, the general treats me very well," and the emperor got frustrated by it. He's like, "Leave then," because he was like, "What were you hoping for?" That he'd be like, "No, the general is so awful," and then he could be like, "Well, Qingyu, I can take you out of your misery. You can join me." Like, what did you think was going to happen? So anyway. I will go ahead and talk about this. So I do think it's important because Laifu, which is a servant and a confidant of, the Empress Dowager, she was getting ready to like punish him. And Qingyu stopped her because she was going to have him tortured. And he was like, hey, he's literally your most loyal servant and confidant. Like, the problem is within the palace, okay? The emperor hasn't visited him in years and it makes servants lazy. So don't punish someone who has been loyal to you and by your side forever just because you're upset. Like, if you're gonna lash out, you gotta lash out at the right people, right? So anyway, what else did I want to say? I think that might be it. I already said Qingyu got drunk. This is not fair. I wanted more. I'm trying to go to the specific scene. Oh yeah, so here we are. So Gufujo bent down, picking Lin Qingyu up princess style. Their bodies were so different that now in his arms, Qingyu seemed so much smaller, when in reality the physician was considered tall among his peers. So he walks them to the bedroom, he sits down on the bed, he doesn't put Qingyu down, and he sits him in his lap instead, and he was like, "You want some hangover soup?" And then Qingyu wrapped his arms around Gufujo's neck, and he was like, "Why are you hard?" And he was like, you caught me. Sorry, I can't help it. And he was like, I want to so badly. And Qingyu was like, it said that his eyes curved a bit. Curved upward and, And so he was like, want to? And then Gufujo was like, but I mean, you still only like girls, right? Qingyu. He's like, you might be wrong. So yeah. Very cruel and usual punishment from Seven Seas to end us right there. Just like, so is Volume 3 released? No. Unfortunately. Let me see what y'all saying. I definitely missed some comments. It is a very nefarious stopping point. I'm so upset. The first volume ended in tragedy. Second volume, cute fluff, knife twist when you see the cover of Volume 3. So mean. Oh, is the cover released? Yes. Sorry. It's been released for a while. I had seen it forever ago. It's awful. I'm going to pull it up in a second, though. Before you joined the Salted Fish Book Club. Dang, Ripperoni. Not looking for it. LMAO. So let me pull it up really quickly. Salted fish. See, I already typed it in. Volume 3. La da da, la da da dee. Actually, I didn't have to do that because I have it in Canva. So salted fish 3. Okay. Browse my images. Desktop. Don May. Salted fish 3. All right. Prepare to feast your eyes on eternal suffering. Here we go. That's the cover. The author has good knife skills. Our hearts are on the cutting board. I like that. That was good. Story jumper. System options A, tease, or B, I'm hungry. C, silence. Please choose an option. Google says it releases, Google says what was released? What, just the picture maybe? Also apparently my quality is low. So this is the cover, y'all. We are being sorely tortured. Like, I don't know. I'm extremely upset by this. Like, what are we doing? Don't do that to me. And look at this. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Hold on. Look at that face. Look at his hair. Honestly, the detail in it is very good. I actually watched the video of the artist painting this, and it was done very well. But I'm just like, bruh, I'm not ready. Okay? I'm not ready for the hurt and pain that we are about to experience. So yeah, that's that. We have no idea. Not again. Oh no, get him to his wife. Ouch. I'm going to read the summary as well for y'all. So just a sec. Honestly, I feel like the first cover for me is still more painful than even seeing that one. And it's more painful for me. Actually, I think it's cruel. Like, I think volume 3 cover is just like letting you know what's going to happen, and it's kind of devastating. But I still count volume 1 as the cruelest ever, because I was thinking that was going to be some like awesome romantic scene. And that is not what it was at all. Yeah, Sporting You is going to have to experience another loss. Don't bring us back to first cover. I'm not going to show it, but so Salted Fish Volume 3. I'm going to read the summary for you all. And at the top, how they always have something said, like at this one, it was like, if I change, if even remain the same. The top of this one is going to say scandal and slaughter. Beautiful, devious imperial physician Lin Qingyu has reunited with his husband, Gu Fuzhou. That leaves Lin Qingyu plenty of time to work against his archenemy, Crown Prince Xiao Cheng. Soon, Lin Qingyu uncovers Xiao Cheng's deepest secret, one that could ruin the prince. Yet the only piece of evidence Lin Qingyu can put forward is a purple silk belt. Could such a humble item really interfere with an ascension to the throne? Or will Lin Qingyu's loathing of Xiao Cheng lead him to overplay his hand? Gufujo likewise faces a daunting choice as Great Yu continues to fight in a war in the northwest, and the nation's troops face increasingly grueling and grim circumstances. Everyone in court and in the northwest understands that victory is only possible if Great General Gu returns to the front. But Gufujo barely survived his last tour of duty. Does he dare leave the capital for the northwest, knowing that Lin Qingyu could be widowed again? No comment saying. Just as mean cruel. Right, volume 1 because it's cute, but it's deceiving you. It's evil. Beautiful art though, yes. That's so ominous. What? Why? Not just say, oh yeah, I remember this. Heh. Oh shit. That's a good blurb saying nothing. That said absolutely nothing. Why even ask when you give us the cover like that? I mean, what was the point of this summary in congruence with the cover? Could also, y'all, I officially made Wanchung my cover. I still miss my Wanchung baby. I love Gufujo, but Wanchung is where it's at. The angst is painful, but so good. It's beautiful, bittersweet. Why? So, what I will say, because I understand how difficult it is for people to wait for releases, especially if you have access to the content somewhere else. Salted fish. Where do I go to look at pins? Pin messages. Here we go. If you cannot wait, there you go. I ain't even gonna be mad at you if you continue. Because I wanted to continue so bad. And like I said, the only reason I'm not continuing is because I'm actually reading the series. And I plan on having it uploaded to the top 2 tiers of Patreon. At least the first volume, I plan on having that uploaded by April 26th. And we'll see about volume 2, but it's going to all be up before volume 3. That way, people can get a refresher if they want to, either a refresher by listening to our live discussions or a refresher by just listening to the audio. And that, of course, is if you're on Patreon, tier 2 or 3. He is so cute. Isn't he? The cutest. Like, and look at this face. Again. It just looks so serene and so peaceful. I don't know if he's dead in this picture or not. No, his head probably would have been down. But it's just so serene and so peaceful. I can't. I cannot. Mari Chan's Sick Boy collection. Look, because Sick Boys are the best. All we got to do is change Lu Wanchung's name to Shun Wanchung. And we're good. Oh my gosh. That's just telling me I'm going to be crying again. Pretty much. So my goal is actually for when volume 3 comes out, I'm gonna see how we can rearrange our book club discussions, because what I would really like to do is go ahead and just record volume 3 rather than reading it in my head and all that stuff and then having to go back and record it. I would like to just be able to record it, upload it, and then we have discussions as we go along. So I'll just have to see. There's a mini theater at the end of chapter 71 where Chingyue makes actually takes someone's phone and texts salty fish. That's funny. There's also the audio drama. Yes, I am trying not to spend my money on the audio drama. Really trying to not spend it on the QJJ audio drama as well. So hard. So hard not to spend my money. I'm also trying not to spend my money on going to get the special edition of Salted Fish. So many things want my money. You're not reading it. You'll wait for volume 3. Nice. You need to order volume 3. I'll order it at some point. Sick Boy Shun Club. Meow. I will make myself a shirt just for me to say that I'm a shunaholic at some point. I'll get that made. You said +1 member. The honorary Shun. You know what? Yeah. Shun Wantong. I'm just changing it. That way you fit. Money. Oh, I forgot I'm supposed to be eating and drinking. So yeah. That's how we end it, y'all. I need more. I also have The Wife Comes First, Volume 2. I'm very, very excited about that. I think, to be on the safe side, which I know some of y'all probably already started reading it anyway. I think to be on the safe side, maybe we'll have our first discussion about that on March 30th. That's still a Monday, by the way. Actually, hold on. I've got watercolor boot camp from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. that day. I have to think. Or maybe I changed the date. Maybe we'll do Tuesday. I have to think about it. The point is, when we start volume 2 of The Wife Comes First, it's probably going to be in the final week, somewhere going from transitioning from March to April. I don't know yet because I can't do it any sooner. I can, but I don't want to because of all the socializing that I have to do for work for the next God knows how many days. And then even on the standard day that I would do it, I have something to moderate and I have to figure my life out. The not necessarily took me out. Bruh, I don't even know if did I say that? What did I say it for? I don't even know. The wife comes first. You got yours on Friday. Nice. Mine was late. 2 days late. Watercolor boot camp sounds fun. I mean, it's just the actual live session is just like a Q&A and an introduction to, for the veterans, to the company we're doing this with, and they get to ask all the questions they want of the artist about watercolor and everything. There's no actual like live sessions of painting and challenges and stuff like that. All of that happens offline on the website and they post and stuff. So like it's not fun. I want to make that clear, but it's not fun. Like we're not painting and doing all kinds of stuff. I'm literally just there to navigate an interview, a Q&A essentially. So but it's something we do on a consistent basis. And now we have a drawing boot camp as well. And so, yeah, that's all I'm there for. And it's specifically for veterans, though. So, oh, not necessarily with the words how they put it in the fan translation. Oh, you have 2 weeks to read volume 1. Oh, very good. That's good. You have 2 weeks to read volume 1. So, next Saturday, March the 28th, we are having a live reading session. It's going to be QJJ Volume 6, because by the time that week comes, you'll already be there. Of course, that is going to be specifically for the Head Disciple and Peak Lord tier on Patreon, but I'm just telling y'all if y'all here. So, yeah, we're having a live reading then, and it's probably going to be short. The reason it's going to be short, which is crazy, I'm saying this, but it's in the first recording of the chapters that I just did. But we have, from the start of Volume 6 to when the release of Volume 7 comes, we have 3 weeks. I typically, somehow read each novel in a 2-week time span. Sometimes it's shorter than that. But to keep us from having to wait a week, I'm going to read shorter amounts of pages so that we can cover QJJ Volume 6 in 3 weeks rather than 2 and then take another week break, or rather than 2 weeks and then move on to, like, say, How to Survive as a Villain and then have to stop again as soon as Volume 7 comes out. I just feel like it wouldn't make sense. Also, if I can move as slow as possible when it concerns How to Survive as a Villain, that would be nice, considering Volume 7 is coming out, because Volume 3 of How to Survive as a Villain is coming out. Like, they've got the pre-orders up finally. I still don't know when the actual release date is. If anyone can find that, please tell me. And I've already pre-ordered mine, but if I can just have less waiting time for us, that's what I'm trying to do. So it's going to take us about 3 weeks to read Volume 6. Yeah, we'll already be starting. Yeah. Yep. I mean, y'all still have this entire week of just Volume 5, but I've already finished reading Volume 5. And the first video for Volume 6 is scheduled for the 23rd on Patreon, the 25th on YouTube. So yeah, we're almost done with this series. I feel like I flew through Volume 5. Even though you're still getting it in a 2-week time span, I flew through it in my reading. Like, geez, what was I doing? I don't know. I guess I just had the oomph to do it. So, I mean, the other thing I could consider is that we could read it, QJJ Volume 6, in the regular 2 weeks, and then that 1 week break that we have, it could be us just reading The Wife Comes First Volume 2, kind of like what we did with Volume 1 when I was off work. So I don't know. What do y'all think? Do y'all think I should take my time with Volume 6 of QJJ? And I can put it in a poll, but do you think I should take my time with Volume 6 of QJJ and read it over 3 weeks? That way we don't have any breaks and we can get straight to Volume 7? Or do you think that I should still read it in the regular 2-week time span, and then for that week that we wait for Book 7, we do The Wife Comes First and have multiple live sessions in that week? Also, I have to check my schedule and make sure that I'm not You have to make sure I'm actually available while I'm talking. Okay, yeah. So, no, I'm going to put it in the poll. Take time, 3 weeks. Wait. QJJ versus life first. Well, I guess I don't need to put it in the poll because everybody's just saying the same thing. Okay. All right. We'll take 3 weeks. Cool beans. That's how we'll approach that. I am thinking in April, I would like for us to have our first art session together. I think I'll have the ability to do that in April. And that will be, pretty much anyone who's on Discord already would have access to that. I'm thinking we could have a live session together. I still have to actually look into how that's done, because when I was looking at how to do video chats with someone, it allowed it, but then you had to, like, the tutorial I saw, you had to add like one person by one or something to a video chat. I don't know. If I don't do it via video chat, then I'm just going to do it via Zoom. Because I'm used to Zoom. Like, all the work that we do in the live classes for my job, they're all done via Zoom, which is also very convenient because I can, like, not to say that I would do this without people's permission, but I could record the video sessions if I wanted and save them to my computer and then, share snippets of them and stuff if I wanted to, or, something. But I'm very, very used to using Zoom, and I'm still learning when it comes to things Discord. I'd just be so like, Oh, only one person said why first. Sorry, Story Jumper. I guess you've been outvoted. Yes, February flew by very fast. I don't know what's happening with the month of March. I feel like it's dragging, but then watch once it's over, I'm going to be like, dang. Whoa. You got to go walk your dog before the weather gets worse. Yes. Have fun walking your dog. Be safe. Think you can make a video channel. That is not something I remember seeing an option for. I'm just going to take a look right now. Create channel. Only options I see are text, voice, forum, announcement. Oh, stage. Okay, so stage, host events, panels, Q&A for an audience. Okay. All I had to do was look. Anyway. Yeah, well, if it's a voice chat though, like you can do a video chat, but you'll have to add the person individually. But I think I just saw it does allow to have an actual video chat. So I think I'll do it that way so that we can do that together. I have no idea what my idea is going to be, I guess, for that first thing. We'll brainstorm. Who knows? We can brainstorm what we'll do for our very first session. Who knows? So anyway, I got a few minutes left with y'all. Ooh, what is that? I'll leave that alone. But yeah, there are things that I want to say and I can't say. NFS knows what I'm talking about, is all I'll say. I've had quite the weekend. Quite the weekend. Oh my gosh. But what are y'all up to? Except by everyone, you're going to do classwork. Have fun doing classwork. Or at least, hopefully it's not miserable. Yes, I think I'll put it that way. So, but yeah, we have officially finished volume 2. It is something else I get to add to my roster of being complete. And I have my chart my book Odyssey chart. And I mean, we still have half the month left. I'm wondering what my favorite book of March is going to be. My favorite book of January was QJJ Volume 1. My favorite book of February was Salted Fish Volume 1. So I'm just curious as to what is going to be my favorite book for the month of March. And I'm trying to look at the things that I've read. You'll probably be fine. Probably. I'm trying to figure out what's going to be my favorite. Let's see. We have Eric Linnaeus Volume 3, QJJ Volume 5, QJJ Volume 6, which will also be going into... I actually haven't read that much this month. Y'all, I haven't read a lot this month. I mean, I did start re-listening to QJJ, so I count my re-listens. But anyway, let me close that out. You just finished eating dinner. That sounds good. Yeah, I have to work here soon. At 2 p.m., I'm supposed to be having a meeting with someone about something weird that was happening with Zoom, but my actual work starts at 2:15 and lasts until 6 p.m. Blah. So there's that. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of work that I have to do. But yes, bye, Story Jumper. I guess we should all probably just say bye to each other. I'm just procrastinating. I feel like I do this on a consistent basis. Like, I don't want to go. And so I'd be like, did anybody have any questions? Anybody want to talk about anything? Instead of just being like, hey guys, let's go. So, yeah, I think we're going to go. I hope y'all enjoyed today's session. I hope y'all are just as sad as me about having to wait for Volume 3. You said you're not leaving yet. You were just saying bye to... Oh, well, not bye. Not bye then. Yeah, I guess everybody thought you were leaving. But no, I guess we will just go ahead and leave if no one has anything to talk about. I don't want to sit here and ramble because that would be useless unless y'all have stuff y'all want to talk about. You're a professional procrastinator? I used to be a professional procrastinator too. Now sometimes I feel like I slip. That's really good. Anybody want another bite? Hold on. Blueberry muffin. I mean, donut, by the way. Okay. Cool. Cool. All right. I wish you all well. I don't want to hold you any longer with nothing to say. It is fantastic. So I will say goodbye. So that way we're not literally just sitting here like, I'm glad y'all are eating it. No deadline. It means it doesn't have to be done. I mean, basically. Basically. Goes with your bowl of noodles. Look. I love you guys. Let's go ahead and sign off, okay? Are you guys just gonna watch me eat? Eventually I'll start Arha Volume 10 with Brittany. Okay, for real this time. I'm gonna go. So bye, you guys. Let me stop procrastinating on just whatever. Have a beautiful day or a beautiful night. I hope you are safe for anyone who might be in areas that are like near where storms are coming, because apparently there are several of them. Apparently I'm in the area and it's pretty sad looking outside. So yeah, be safe. And well, I'm Eamon.